Okay, this is the video for section 8.5, Law of Sines. As you can tell, I don't have much voice, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, the Law of Sines, section 8.5. So SOHCAHTOA, which we have worked on before, works for right triangles only. So unless you have a right triangle, you cannot use SOHCAHTOA. So because of that, we're going to use the law of sines. And the law of sines gives us a method to find side lengths and angle measures when we don't have a right triangle. So let's look at an example. Law of sines says this. For any triangle ABC, let the lengths of the sides opposite to the angles A, B, and C be sides A, B, and C. All that means is that if angle A is here, side A is here. Angle B is opposite side B, and angle C is opposite side C. If that's the case, the law of sines relates the sine of each angle to the length of the opposite side. And the law of sines says this. The sine of angle A is proportional to side A in the same way that the sine of angle B is proportional to B, etc., etc. We can also put the side lengths on the top. It's always easiest to solve an equation or a proportion when the unknown value is on the denominator. So we can write the law of sines either way. All right, so let's see how we use it. Here's triangle ABC. Measure of angle A is 48 degrees. Measure of angle B is 93 degrees. And length AC is 15. In other words, side B. So we want to find the length of BC, which is little side A. So I'm going to put my side lengths, because that's my unknown, on top. And I'm going to say 15 divided by the sine of 93, which is the opposite angle, is equal to my unknown divided by the sine of 48. So to solve this, all I need to do is multiply both sides by the sine of 48. So 15 times the sine of 48 divided by the sine of 93 will give me A. And if I plug that all in my calculator, I get A equals 11.162. Pretty simple. Let's try another one. Okay, RST. RT is 11, ST is 18, measure of angle R is 120, find measure of angle S. So my two proportions are going to be 18 and 120, and 11 and my unknown. My unknown is an angle measure, so I'm going to put the sine of 120 over 18 is proportionate to the sine of x over 11. Multiply both sides by 11 and stick that into your calculator. So the sine of x equals 0.5, can't remember, 0.52973. And then remember to solve for an angle measure. We're going to use sine inverse of that number. And that will give me 31.954, and that's the number of degrees. That's all there is to it, just setting up the proportions and solving. So let's do a little recap. We're going to use the law of sines when the triangle does not have a right angle. If we have a right angle, we're going to use SOHCAHTOA. And as long as you're given at least one angle measure and the length of the opposite side. So we've got to have at least one of our pairs, sine A over A, or sine B over B, or sine C over C. We've got to at least have an angle measure and an opposite side. Okay? Now, if neither of those is true, then we're going to use the law of cosines, which we'll find out in the next section.